Dear students, we are going to see about the chapter 1 electric charge and field revision. So when we start the first lesson, so we are talk about learn about the electric charges and the electric field of the charge. So the first unit deals with the electric charges at rest, because only we have say that electrostatics. So electrostatics only a chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 1 is electric charge and field. Chapter 2 is electric potential and capacitors. So the first important question is Coulomb force. Whenever there is a two charges Q1 and Q2 are separated by a very small distance or a certain distance, the distance is R, means the Coulomb states that the electrostatic force of attraction between the Q1 and Q2 is directly proportional to product of the two charges and inversely proportional to square of the distance between them. So in order to remove the proportionality, we have to put a constant. That constant is a K. That K is 1 by 4 pi x lambda naught Q1 Q2 by R square. Dear students, these are all things already we learned. Here, why this x lambda naught comes? This x lambda naught is a permittivity. So a permittivity is a constant. It is a physical term which explains or which describes about the electrical property of the medium between the charges Q1 and Q2. If the medium between the Q1 and Q2 does not allow the electric field lines to pass through, means definitely the Q1 and Q2 there is no force will take place between these two charges. Let us assume this is a positive charge or this is a negative charge. So the force of attraction will not happen unless the electric lines are allowed to pass through this medium. So the Coulomb explains that this medium is a free space. So he put a constant x lambda naught is a permittivity of free space. So if we want to conduct this same experiment for a medium, we need to substitute the value permittivity. So permittivity is equal to permittivity of the free space into relative permittivity of the medium. So the permittivity of the medium is equal to permittivity of the free space into relative permittivity. So if you substitute this value here, means the Q1, Q2 or the two charges are separated by the same distance R. Okay, but these two charges are kept in a medium whose permittivity is x lambda. So if you substitute that, what we will get? F is equal to 1 by 4 pi x lambda naught, x lambda alone, because x lambda naught will not come. If the x lambda naught means this is a free space. So if you take it as a medium, means x lambda alone, Q1, Q2 by R squared. So if you substitute instead of x lambda naught into x lambda R, means this 1 by 4 pi x lambda naught Q1 Q2 by R squared will become, this is a medium. So the electrostatic force of that particular medium is equal to electrostatic force of these two charges kept at the same distance in the free space. That force divided by x lambda R. So we can say that this x lambda R is a relative permittivity, and again we are seen in the second unit that is x lambda R is a dielectric constant. So this is predictions given by Coulomb regarding the force of attraction between two static charges. So this is the electrostatic force of Coulomb force of attraction or repulsion. Electric field. So most of the students having a doubt about the electric field. So what is the physical meaning? How you understand that? Very simple, students. There is a charge Q. Either it may be a positive charge or negative charge. There is a field around this charge. So in this area only, this charge has some influence. If any other charge will come and enter into this field, this positive charge will repel when the entering charge is a positive. Or this positive charge will exert a attractive force if the entering charge is negative charge. So again I will say that this charge has a space around this its own space. So this positive charge has an electric field E around its charge. So whenever another positive charge is kept in contact with this, kept nearer to this positive charge, so what will happen? There is a force of repulsion between them unless this charge not enter into this electric field. Similarly, if the negative charge is coming closer approximately with the positive charge, this positive charge means there is a force of attraction will take place unless this charge will enter into this charge electric field. So very simply I can explain that the two charges Q and Q, two charges will communicate with each other, or the force of attraction or repulsion will take place only through the electric field of each charges. So that means this Q1 charge will exert a force on this charge. Also, this charge also exerts a force on this charge. So that force is equal to electric field. So the force exerted by the Q1 charge on Q2 when the Q2 is kept nearer to that. Similarly, the force exerted by the Q2 on Q1, similarly this is also Q1 also kept nearer to this Q2 charge. So we can say that the force exerted by the each charges on one another is equal to electric field. So we can put that denominator Q, that is for per unit charge. So this is a electric field relation between the electric force and electric field. Next, we derive the expression for the electric field E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R squared. Here in Coulomb's force, the R is equal to the distance between the two static charges Q1 and Q2. This distance is R for Coulomb force. That is F is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q1 Q2 by R square. This R is a distance between these two charges. But in electric field, we are taking only one charge. There is a field around this charge. Okay. So we have to put one point. So I want to calculate the electric field of this Q charge at this point. So this is a point P. The distance between this charge and the point P is a R. So keep in your mind, the R in the electric field formula is distance between the charge and the particular point. Since the E is inversely proportional to 1 by R squared, when the distance increases, electric field strength decreases. When the distance decreases, when it is closer to this charge, the electric field increases. Both are inversely proportional. So keep in your mind, what is the formula for electric field? E is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught Q by R squared. Next we will see that what will happen when the two equal and opposite charges separated by a very small distance 2a. Means this is called electric dipole. This is called electric dipole. Electric means charge, di means two, and pole means end. That is, two charges, two equal and opposite charges are present at the ends of each other. Two charges, two means di, pole means end, separated by a distance 2a is called as a electric dipole. So electric dipole moment, electric dipole moment is a vector. That vector small p vector is equal to q into 2a. That is magnitude of the one of the charge into distance between them. This is a electric dipole moment. So that is very simple. Dear students, electric field is also a vector. Electric field is also a vector. The electric field vector direction is from positive to negative direction. The electric field vector direction will be from along positive to negative direction. But dipole moment vector direction is from negative to positive direction. So you should keep in your mind, electric field direction is from positive to negative, then dipole moment direction will be negative to positive. Now we are going to see that already we know that the electric dipole means the positive charge and the negative charge are separated by a very small distance 2a. So this negative charge has a electric field, this positive charge is also having electric field. Some students will ask that, sir, how to find the electric field directions for the particular charge, sir? Very simple, students. You take a positive charge. Okay, you take this positive charge. If you want to find the electric field direction of this particular charge at this point, means this is a distance between the point and this is a R. Okay, so what you have to do means fix the point. See the charge. If the charge is positive, means the electric field direction is away from this positive charge. Then if you take the negative charge, okay, if you take the negative charge, the same distance or the certain some other distance P, the distance is R. Now if you see the charge from this point P, so the charge is negative, means it will towards the charge. So this is a way you have to find the electric field direction of the any point charge or a dipole moment. At this point along the axial point, the electric field direction of the positive charge at this point is here, E plus Q, and the electric field direction of this negative charge of the dipole is towards this direction, that is E minus Q. So by using the formulas and derivation, we already studied that the E axial line, electric field along the axial point is derived as E axial point is equal to K2P or K2P by R cube. So equatorial line. For the equatorial line, what is the formula? It is Kp by R cube, where K is a 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, P is a dipole moment. So this is also a vector, this is also a vector, equatorial line also a vector. So axial line means along this axis, equatorial line means perpendicular direction. This is a point P. So what is the electric field at this point? Equatorial line means this is the formula, that is Kp by R cube. For along the axial point, this point means K2P by R cube. The relation between these two things is E axial line is equal to 2 times of 2 E equatorial line, because this 2 will not come here. So if you put 2, that E axial is equal to 2 times of E equatorial. Dear students, we have learned that what is a Coulomb force, then what is the electric field, what is the electric dipole moment, that is electric dipole and electric dipole moment. What is the electric field of along the axial and equatorial point for the electric dipole? So very simple, we are taking the electric charge and studied something about the electric field. Now we are going to see that what will happen when the electric field is placed in an external electric field. That external electric field is a uniform electric field. So this is a uniform electric field. Uniform electric field means the electric field lines are equally spaced. The gap between these electric field lines are equal. So if you assume that if you are placing an electric dipole in a uniform electric field, this is a negative charge and this is a positive charge. We know that this positive charge force will be F is equal to plus QE. This E is a external electric field, E. Then this F is along the opposite direction, F is equal to minus QE. So these two direction, what will happen? This will pull the electric dipole moment along this direction, and the negative will be moving in this direction. So the dipole moment will exert, it will experience a rotating force. That rotating force is a torque. So the question will be asked like this: what is a torque experienced by the electric dipole placed in an external electric field? We know that torque is equal to force into perpendicular distance. This perpendicular distance is this one. This is the perpendicular distance. If you take this point is A, this point is B, and this point is C, so the BC is a perpendicular distance. So the torque tau is equal to F is a force. F is equal to QE into this perpendicular distance is 2A sin theta. This theta is a angle between, not a electric dipole, it is an angle between the electric dipole moment which will be moving along negative to positive direction and the external electric field. So the angle between the dipole moment and the external electric field is theta. So we will take that tau is equal to E into, or simply we can say that Q into 2A into E sin theta. So Q into 2A is a dipole moment. Tau is equal to PE sin theta. So torque is a vector. So AB sin theta is a A vector cross B vector. Here the A is a P and B is a E electric field. So P vector cross E vector. This is a torque experienced by the electric dipole placed in an external electric field. So these are all things you are already studied. But here you have to remember that what is the net force here. So the net force is, this is a one force, this is a one force. If you add, these two are equal but opposite. So the net force is equal to 0. But the net torque in this electric dipole, net torque experienced by the electric dipole when placed in an external electric field is not equal to 0. Uniform electric field is not equal to 0. The very important topic in the chapter 1 is Gauss law. So Gauss theorem. Okay, Gauss theorem. So Gauss gives the shortcut to find the electric field, total electric field of the system of charges. He says that the total electric flux is equal to 1 q by x lambda naught. That is 1 by x lambda times the total net charge in this any closed surface. That any imaginary closed surface is called as a Gaussian surface. So this is a Gauss theorem. So Gauss theorem topic is a mark based questions. Definitely one question will come from the Gauss theorem. So we have to prove the, so you have to clearly study about the state and prove Gauss theorem clearly. So and also there will be a electric charge distribution, continuous charge distribution. Lambda is a linear charge distribution, the amount of charge per unit length. Sigma is a surface charge distribution, charge by area. Then rho is a volume charge distribution, Q by volume. So by using this, we are going to find this electric field of a infinite long charged wire and electric field of a plane sheet. For the infinite long charged wire, you have to keep in your mind, this is an infinite long charged wire. Positive, 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 positive. Okay. So Gauss says that this formula will be, this theorem will be valid only for the closed surface. So we have to draw the imaginary closed surface. So this surface is a cylindrical surface. So the electric field lines or positive charges will be moving outwards. So here the surface vector ds vector is also moving in this direction. Here the surface vector ds will move in the upward direction. Here the surface vector will move in the downward direction. Here the theta is equal to 90 degree. Angle between the electric field and the surface vector is 90 degree. Here the theta is equal to 90 degree. Here theta is equal to 0 degree. So by using this formula, we arrive the equation electric field E is equal to lambda by 2 pi x lambda naught R. This is an electric field of a infinite long wire. So very simple students. Gauss theorem means we have to assume the imaginary Gaussian surface, closed surface. So electric flux is equal to 1 by x lambda times the total net charge. By using this theorem, we arrive the equation for infinite long wire electric field, that is lambda by 2 pi x lambda naught R. The another important thing is what is the electric field of a charged plane sheet. So for the charged plane sheet, so we have a lot of charges in the plane sheet. Okay, the electric Gaussian surface will be assumed in the both the side. This is a ds. So this is a small surface. The surface vector will be always outwards. So the electric field lines also outwards. So the theta is equal to 0 degree. Here also the theta is equal to 0 degree because the electric field vector and the ds vector is equal to 0 degree. By substituting these values using the Gauss theorem, we arrive the equation as E is equal to sigma by 2x lambda naught. So this is the electric field of a plane sheet. If it is a parallel sheet, we get E is equal to sigma by x lambda naught. That is we are using in the capacitor concept. For the capacitor concept, the electric field between the two plates is sigma by x lambda naught. Dear students, I want to explain one thing clearly. The flux pi is equal to, or the electric field E is equal to number of electric field lines per area. So the pi is equal to E into area. So these two are vectors. So what we have to do that? Vector product, that is vector multiplication. That multiplication is a scalar product. So we are going to multiply the two vectors as a scalar product. That is pi is equal to Ea cos theta. So this theta only we are finding here for both the plane sheet as well as the infinite long wire. I hope that I will discuss some important topics in the unit 1. This will be helpful for the exam point of view revision. Thank you, students.